Abate. To decrease in intensity or amount. Abhor. To hate or detest intensely. Abstain. To refrain from doing something. Accolade. An award or honor. Accost. To approach and speak to someone aggressively or boldly. Adamant. Refusing to be persuaded or to change one's mind. Adversary. An enemy or opponent. Advocate. To support or argue for a particular cause or position. Aesthetic. Relating to beauty or the appreciation of beauty. Affable. Friendly, good-natured, or easy to talk to. Alacrity. Eagerness or willingness to do something. Alienate. To make someone feel isolated or estranged. Allay. To relieve or alleviate something, such as fears or doubts. Alleviate. To make something less severe or intense. Aloof. Distant, detached, or uninvolved. Altruistic. Showing a selfless concern for the well-being of others. Ambiguous. Having more than one possible meaning or interpretation. Ambivalent. Having mixed feelings or contradictory ideas about something or someone. Ameliorate. To make something better or more tolerable. Amicable. Characterized by friendliness and goodwill. Anachronistic. Belonging to a period other than that being portrayed. Analogous. Similar in some respects, but not in others. Anecdote. A short and amusing or interesting story about a real incident or person. Animosity. Strong hostility or antagonism. Anomaly. Something that deviates from what is expected or normal. Antagonist. A person who actively opposes or is hostile to someone. Antipathy. A strong feeling of dislike or aversion. Apathy. Lack of interest, enthusiasm, or concern. Aphorism. A concise statement of a principle or truth. Apotheosis. The highest point in the development of something. Agog. Highly excited. Agape. With the mouth wide open as in wonder or awe. Abstruse. Difficult to understand. Apposite. Being of striking appropriateness and pertinence. Atavistic. Characteristic of a throwback. Arid. Lacking sufficient water or rainfall. Alliteration. Use of the same consonant at the beginning of each word. Arbitrary. Based on or subject to individual discretion or preference. Awl. A pointed tool for marking surfaces or for punching holes. Abattoir. A building where animals are butchered. Aggrandize. Embellish, increase the scope, power. Aperture. A natural opening in something. Antecedent. A preceding occurrence or cause or event. Appease. To pacify or placate someone by acceding to their demands. Apprehension. Anxiety or fear that something bad or unpleasant will happen. Arduous. Requiring great exertion or effort. Articulate. Expressing oneself clearly and effectively. Ascetic. Characterized by severe self-discipline and abstention from all forms of indulgence. Aspire. To have a strong desire to achieve or become something. Assuage. To make an unpleasant feeling less intense or severe. Astute. Showing an ability to accurately assess situations or people and turn this to one's advantage. Audacious. Showing a willingness to take surprisingly bold risks. Augment. To make something greater by adding to it. Auspicious. Promising success or good fortune. Authentic. Genuine or real, not fake or copied. Autonomy. the right or condition of self-government or self-determination. Avarice, extreme greed for wealth or material gain. Aversion, a strong dislike or disinclination. Accomplish, achieve or complete successfully. Attain, succeed in achieving. Adapt, make something suitable for a new use or purpose. Affordable, reasonably priced. Accompany, go somewhere with someone as a companion. Analyze, examine methodically and in detail. Admire, regard an object, quality, or person with respect or warm approval. Associate, connect someone. Banal, lacking originality, freshness, or novelty. Belie, to give a false impression of something. Bellicose, demonstrating aggression and willingness to fight. Benign, gentle, kind, or harmless. Bequeath, to leave or pass on something. Berate, to scold or criticize someone angrily. Blatant, done openly and unashamedly. Blithe, showing a casual and cheerful indifference considered to be callous or improper. Bolster, to support or strengthen something. Bombastic, high-sounding but with little meaning. Boorish, rough and bad-mannered. Brazen, bold and without shame. Breach, an act of breaking or failing to observe a law or agreement. Buttress, a projecting support of stone or brick built against a wall. Boundary, a line that marks the limits of an area. Backup, help or support. Cache, a collection of items of the same type stored in a hidden. Cajole, to persuade someone to do something by coaxing or flattery. Callous, might be hurt or upset. Candor, quality of being open and honest in expression. Capricious, given to sudden and unaccountable changes of mood. Carping, difficult to please, critical. Catalyst, a person or thing that precipitates an event or change. Caustic, sarcastic in a scathing and bitter way. Censure, to express severe disapproval of someone or something. Chagrin, distress or embarrassment at having failed or been humiliated. Charlatan, a person falsely claiming to have a special knowledge or skill. Chicanery, the use of deception or subterfuge to achieve one's purpose. Chimera, wished for but in fact is illusory or impossible to achieve. Choleric, bad-tempered or irritable. Chronic, persisting for a long time or constantly recurring. Circumscribe, to restrict something within limits. Circumspect, wary and unwilling to take risks. Citadel, protecting or dominating a city. Clairvoyant, having or exhibiting an ability to perceive events in the future. Clandestine, kept secret or done secretly, especially because illicit. Clemency, mercy, lenience. Coalesce, to come together and form one mass or whole. Cogent, clear, logical, and convincing. Coherent, logical and consistent. Collusion, secret or illegal cooperation or conspiracy. Comely, pleasant to look at, attractive. Commensurate, corresponding in size or degree, in proportion. Complacency, a feeling of smug or uncritical satisfaction with oneself. Complicit, involved with others in an illegal activity or wrongdoing. Comport, to behave in a particular way. Compromise, settlement of a dispute that is reached by each side making concessions. Concede, to admit that something is true or valid after first denying. Conciliatory, intended or likely to placate or pacify. Concord, agreement or harmony between people or groups. Condescend, to behave in a patronizing or superior manner. Confidant, a person with whom one shares a secret or private matter, trusting them. Conflagration, an extensive fire that destroys a great deal of land or property. Confluence, the junction of two rivers, especially rivers of approximately equal width. Conjecture. An opinion or conclusion formed on the basis of incomplete information. Connive. To secretly allow or assist something considered immoral. Connoisseur. An expert judge in matters of taste. Consensus. General agreement among a group of people. Construe. To interpret a word or action in a particular way. Consummate. Showing a high degree of skill and flair. Contemptuous. Showing contempt. Contentious. Causing or likely to cause an argument, controversial. Contrite. Feeling or expressing remorse or penitence, affected by guilt. Contrived. Deliberately created rather than arising naturally or spontaneously. Conundrum. A confusing and difficult problem or question. Convivial. Friendly, lively, and enjoyable, sociable. Copious. Abundant in supply or quantity. Corpulent. Excessively fat. Corroborate. To confirm or give support to a statement, theory, or finding. Coterie. A small group of people with shared interests or tastes. Countenance. A person's face or facial expression. Covert. Not openly acknowledged or displayed, secret. Covet. To yearn to possess or have something. Craven. Cowardly, lacking in courage. Credible. Able to be believed, convincing. Credulous. Having or showing too great a readiness to believe things. Culpable. Deserving blame, guilty. Cumulative. Increasing or growing by accumulation or successive additions. Cursory. Hasty and therefore not thorough or detailed. Curtail. To reduce in extent or quantity. Cynical. Distrustful of human sincerity or integrity. Daunt. To make someone feel intimidated or apprehensive. Debacle. A sudden and ignominious failure. Debilitate. To make someone weak and infirm. Decadent. Characterized by or reflecting a state of moral or cultural decline. Decimate. To kill, destroy, or remove a large proportion of something. Decorum. Behavior in keeping with good taste and propriety, etiquette. Decrepit. Elderly and infirm, worn out or ruined because of age or neglect. Defamation. The action of damaging the good reputation of someone. Deference. Humble submission and respect. Defunct. No longer existing or functioning. Deleterious. Causing harm or damage. Delineate. To describe or portray something precisely. Delinquent. Typically used to describe a young person who regularly commits crimes. Deluge. A severe flood, a heavy downpour of rain. Demagogue. Political leader who seeks support by appealing to popular desires. Denigrate. To criticize unfairly, to defame or disparage. Ebb. The movement of the tide out to sea, a gradual decline in intensity or size. Ebullient. Cheerful and full of energy, exuberant. Eccentric. Not placed centrally or not having its axis or other part placed centrally. Eclectic. Deriving ideas, style, or taste from a broad and diverse range of sources. Edify. To instruct or improve morally or intellectually. Efficacious. Effective, producing the desired outcome. Effigy. A sculpture or model of a person, typically one of a hated person. Effusive. expressing feelings of gratitude or approval in an heartfelt manner. Egregious, outstandingly bad, shocking. Elated, extremely happy and excited, overjoyed. Elegy, a poem of serious reflection, typically a lament for the dead. Elusive, difficult to find, catch, or achieve. Emaciated, abnormally thin or weak, especially because of illness or a lack of food. Embellish, to make something more attractive by adding decorative details or features. Embolden, to give someone the courage or confidence to do something. Emulate, to match or surpass a person or achievement, typically by imitation. Enamored, filled with a feeling of love or admiration. Encumber, to restrict or burden someone or something in such a way that free action. Endemic, regularly found and widespread in a particular geographic area. Endow, to provide with a quality, ability, or asset. Enervate, to cause someone or something to feel drained of energy or vitality. Engender, to cause or give rise to a feeling, situation, or condition. Enhance, to improve the quality, value, or extent of something. Enigma, a person or thing that is mysterious, puzzling, or difficult to understand. Enmity, the state or feeling of being actively opposed. Ennui, a feeling of listlessness and dissatisfaction arising from a lack of occupation. Enormity, the great or extreme scale, seriousness, or extent of something perceived as bad. Enshroud, to envelop completely and hide from view. Entail, to involve something as a necessary or inevitable part. Entice, to attract or tempt by offering pleasure or advantage. Enthrall, to capture the fascinated attention of someone. Enunciate, to pronounce or articulate words clearly and distinctly. Environ, to surround or enclose something. Epicure, a person who takes particular pleasure in fine food and drink. Epitome, a person or thing that is a perfect example of a particular quality. Equanimity, mental calmness, composure, and evenness of temper. Equivocal, open to more than one interpretation. Erudite, having or showing extensive knowledge, learning, or culture. Escalate, to increase rapidly in extent, volume, or intensity. Eschew, to deliberately avoid or abstain from. Espouse, to adopt or support a cause, belief, or way of life. Facetious, treating serious issues with inappropriate humor. Fallacious, based on a mistaken belief or unsound reasoning. Fastidious, very attentive to detail, meticulous. Feasible, possible to do easily or conveniently. Fervent, displaying passionate intensity. Flippant, not showing a serious or respectful attitude. Formidable, inspiring fear or respect through being impressively large. Garrulous, excessively talkative, especially on trivial matters. Gluttonous, excessively greedy. Gratuitous, given or done free of charge, unnecessary or uncalled for. Gregarious, fond of company, sociable. Guileless, innocent and without deception. Gigantic, very great size. gaze, look steadily and intently. Granary, a storehouse for threshed grain or animal feed. Gainsay, take exception to. Grisly, shockingly repellent, inspiring horror, harrowing, extremely distressing, agonizing. Haughty, arrogantly superior and disdainful. Heinous, utterly odious or wicked. Hermetic, complete and airtight. Histrionic, overly theatrical or melodramatic in character or style. Iconoclast, a person who attacks cherished beliefs or institutions. Idiosyncrasy, a peculiar personality trait or habit. Illicit, forbidden by law, rules, or custom. Imminent, about to happen. Impartial, treating all rivals or disputants equally, fair and just. Invisible, unable to be seen. Incentive, a thing that motivates or encourages one to do something. Jaunty, having or expressing a lively, cheerful, and self-confident manner. Jocular, fond of or characterized by joking, humorous or playful. Judicious, having, showing, or done with good judgment or sense. Kinetic, relating to or resulting from motion. Kitsch, art or other objects that appeal to popular. Knotty, full of knots, extremely difficult or intricate. Kind, having or showing friendly. Keen, having or showing eagerness. Lackadaisical, lacking enthusiasm and determination, carelessly lazy, languid. Slow and relaxed, displaying no vigor or energy. Lascivious, lustful or lewd in a vulgar way. Laudable, deserving praise and commendation. Loquacious, tending to talk a great deal, talkative. Lavish, spending or using things that are more than necessary. Linguistic, relating to language. Loot, goods especially private property taken from an enemy in war. Luminous, giving off light. Magnanimous, generous or forgiving, especially toward a rival or less powerful person. Malicious, intending or intended to do harm. Malleable, easily influenced, pliable. Melancholic, characterized by or causing or expressing sadness. Mercurial, subject to sudden or unpredictable changes of mood or mind. Masculine, appearance traditionally associated with men. Maternal, relating to a mother. Manufacturing, producing something on a large scale using machinery. Modest, not large but sufficient in size or amount. Nefarious, wicked or criminal. Nostalgic, characterized by a sentimental longing for the past. Novel, new or unusual in an interesting way. Obtuse, annoyingly insensitive or slow to understand. Omnipotent, having unlimited power, able to do anything. Onerous, involving an amount of effort and difficulty that is oppressively burdensome. Opportune, well chosen or particularly favorable or appropriate. Optimistic. Hopeful and confident about the future. Optional. Available to be chosen, but not obligatory. Objective. Something that is planned, aimed at, or sought. Opportunity. A set of circumstances that makes it possible to do something. Paltry. Small or meager in quantity, petty, trivial. Panacea. A solution or remedy for all problems or diseases. Paradigm. A typical example or pattern of something, a model. Parsimonious. Extremely frugal, unwilling to spend money or use resources. Partial. Being or affecting only a segment. Perpetual. Continuing forever or indefinitely. Proceeding. A sequence of steps by which legal judgments are invoked. Quaint. Attractively unusual or old-fashioned. Quandary. A state of perplexity or uncertainty over what to do in a difficult situation. Querulous. Complaining in a petulant or whining manner. Rancorous. Characterized by bitterness or resentment. Rapacious. Aggressively greedy or grasping. Redolent. Having a strong pleasant odor, suggestive or reminiscent of something. Sagacious. Having or showing good judgment, shrewd. Salient. Most noticeable or important, prominent. Sanguine. Optimistic or positive, especially in an apparently bad or difficult situation. Scintillating. Sparkling or shining brightly, brilliantly and excitingly clever or skillful. Serendipitous. Occurring or discovered by chance in a happy or beneficial way. Spurious. Not genuine, false or fake. Stoic. Enduring pain or hardship without showing feelings or complaining. Substantial. Having a material or factual existence. Taciturn. Reserved or uncommunicative in speech, saying little. Temerarious. Reckless or rash, daring. Tenuous. Very weak or slight, insubstantial. Timorous. Showing or suffering from nervousness, fear, or a lack of confidence. Ubiquitous. Present, appearing, or found everywhere. Unctuous. Excessively or ingratiatingly flattering, oily. Undulate. Move with a smooth wave-like motion. Ultimately. In the end. Vacuous. Having or showing a lack of thought or intelligence, mindless. Venerable. Courted a great deal of respect, especially because of age, wisdom. Victory. An act of defeating an enemy. Vehement. Showing strong feeling, forceful, passionate, or intense. Wanton. Deliberate and unprovoked, sexually immodest or promiscuous. Whimsical. Playfully quaint or fanciful, especially in an appealing and amusing way. Wistful. Having or showing a feeling of vague or regretful longing. Wanton. Unprovoked or without motive or justification. Whittle. Cut small bits or pare shavings from. Xenophobic. Having or showing a dislike of or prejudice against people from other countries. Yearning. A feeling of intense longing for something. Yielding. Giving way to pressure or influence, submissive. Zealous. Showing great energy or enthusiasm in pursuit of a cause or an objective. Zephyr. A gentle breeze. Zany. Ludicrous or foolish. Zeugma. Theoretical use of a word to govern two or more words. Zilch. Quantity of no importance. Zenith. The highest, most successful point of a situation. Zappy. Energetic, lively. Zestful. Full of a lot of enthusiasm. Zesty. Exciting and full of energy.